We can call the meeting to order at 6:06 p.m. And I feel everybody will put themselves on mute. And Gary will lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Gary. And tonight, welcome Pastor Fasell. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you all for allowing me to lead. Let me lead us in prayer. Father in heaven, I come to you tonight with a thankful heart. Thank you for the provision of grace you made available to all of us in the Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you for your grace in these challenging times. Thank you for each of these elected officials, for each department head and staff member, and for every one of our city's public safety servants. Protect them, please, as they serve us. We ask for your work in our president, our vice president, each cabinet member and congressperson, for our governor, state senators, representative, and each elected local official. God, please give perspective and insight in the discussions which will take place tonight. Give good judgment in each of these matters. Thank you for each person here in this meeting undertaking their role to serve us. I thank you personally for your providence in placing them here. We long for Allen Park to be a great place to live and learn, work, worship, and play. And may you grant grace in this meeting as a means to that end, I pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Before we go to roll call, I'm sure all of you have seen that Chief LaFawn's mother, Betty Hackney, passed away. And if we could just take a moment of silence in her memory. Thank you. It's always difficult, and I think even more so at this time. So please keep the family in your thoughts and prayers. Michael, if you'll take the roll call.
Thank you, Mayor. And again, I ask that you, when I read your name, you state that you're here remotely and what city you're remoting from. So we'll start with Councilman Blevins.
Here remotely in Allen Park.
Councilman Schlack.
Here remotely and in Allen Park.
Councilman Valerius.
Here remotely, Allen Park.
Councilwoman Syke.
You're on mute.
Here remotely in Allen Park.
Thank you. Councilman Lloyd.
Here remotely, Allen Park.
Pro Tem Lally.
Here remotely in Allen Park, Michigan.
And Mayor McLeod.
Here remotely, Allen Park.
Thank you. We have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the agenda for February 23rd, 2021?
I make a motion.
Motion by Lally. Nobody wants to approve the agenda? Second by
Dan.
Lloyd. Okay. You kind of broke up there. Are there any corrections? If not, if you'll take the roll call, please.
All right, Mayor. I have a motion by Pro Tem Lally, supported by Councilman Lloyd, to approve the agenda as presented for February 23rd, 2021. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Blevins.
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally.
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd.
Yes.
Mayor McLeod.
Yes.
Councilman Schlack.
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke.
Yes.
And Councilman Valerius.
Yes.
The yeses have it. The motion is successful.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of February 9th. May I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
By Schlack.
Second.
Second by Blevins. Take the call, please. Are there any corrections? I'm sorry. Are there any corrections to the minutes? not, Michael?
I have a motion by Councilman Schleck, supported by Councilman Blevins to approve the minutes for February 9th. Shall this resolution pass? Pro Tem Lally.
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes.
Councilman Schleck,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valeris,
Yes.
and Councilman Blevins.
Yes.
The yeses have it.
Thank you. And tonight we have two presentations, the first of which is the swearing in of a new firefighter, Thomas Malcolm. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Deputy Chief Can here with Tom Malcolm at the fire station live. And just excuse me, probably easier if I remove this for you. Just a couple notes about him. We welcome him. He's done a great job here on his second day. He's got a wife and 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, 22-year-old, a 13-year-old, and an 11-year-old. He previously worked at Huron Valley Ambulance as a paramedic on the road with Lyon Township Fire Department, and most recently with the GM Proving Ground Fire Brigade. And we're happy to have him aboard.
Yes, we are. And so how are you going to handle this swearing in?
I believe Clerk Mizzy's going to do this remotely, and I'll allow him to take the wheel.
All right. Thank you, Deputy Chief Can. Mr. Malcolm, can I have you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and that you will endeavor to secure an honest and efficient administration of the affairs of the city of Allen Park, free from partisan distinction or control, and that you will perform the duties of full-time firefighter to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do.
Amen. Congratulations, you are official now.
If I may, through the chair, Mayor and Council, Firefighter Malcolm replaces a previous void that we had, and we are starting the process to fill those extra voids with the retirements. Unfortunately, I see Chief LaFont here who's still proceeding with his retirement, as we know, unless you guys say otherwise again, and that is open there, but this is just a replacement position at this point.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And I believe that our state representative, Tullio Liberati, has asked to join us this evening.
Mayor, I'm going to ask if Representative Liberati is in the audience, if he can just raise a hand. I don't see anything popping out as a name for the representative. I don't see anybody in there, Mayor.
All right, then we'll move on to organizational business. If he happens to join us, we will add him in.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for him there.
Okay.
I am going to, before I start my presentation, can I offer to, I see Superintendent Darg in the audience. Can I offer him a few minutes of time if he'd like to speak?
Sure, I have no objection. Does anyone?
And I see, I'm going to also do the same if you may, Commissioner Sam Baydoun as well, if you don't mind.
Thank you.
Good evening. This is Mike Darg, Superintendent of Allen Park Public Schools. I was just checking in this evening to be a part of the events. But again, I wish you the best. We do look forward to presenting to the council soon. We do have a bond coming up, and we're extremely excited about $74.2 million bond. So I'll be sharing some information with you soon on that. But again, I just was kind of calling in just to make sure I stay updated on the happenings of good old Allen Park.
All right.
Thank you, Mike.
Sorry, Superintendent. I didn't mean to put you on the spot there, but when you see him in the audience, I want to take advantage of the opportunity there. So I believe we have the superintendent coming back on the 23rd of March. to do a presentation on the bond proposal. And again, I'm going to be with Councilman Lally. I hope we're in person, but if not, we'll make it happen here. Hopefully better techniques that I can share screens and have them share screens without any issues. But we'll make that all happen for them. And I'm going to grab Commissioner Baydoun here as well.
You're in the air.
Commissioner, how are you doing?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Sam.
Good evening, Mayor, distinguished members of the City Council. I'm honored to be with you tonight. I'm not sure, I joined it like about 2-3 minutes ago. I'm not sure if the Mayor updated you about our meeting this morning, the online meeting with the Wayne County Health Department to talk about the vaccines. Were you able to discuss that, Mayor?
No, I wouldn't have brought that up till the end of the meeting. I've got 7 pages of notes.
Oh, okay. You made very good, valid points, by the way, today, Mayor. But I just wanted to take this opportunity just to give you a quick update, and the Mayor can elaborate on it further later on, because I have to jump to another meeting. Basically, the Wayne County was divided into 4 sections, and each section consists of several cities, and they have what they call designated social vulnerability index. Several of the cities, they already started vaccinating based on economic and social status, if you will. I can tell you in the earlier meeting today, the Wayne County is bringing the vaccines to the city of Dearborn. And as I had indicated to Councilman Lally and to the Mayor, it is my hope, and I would like to include Allen Park, the seniors in the city of Allen Park, to be vaccinated in the city of Dearborn. So this program is for 65 years and older. It's going to be going on. We're hoping it's going to start next week. As a matter of fact, we know it's going to start next week in the city of Dearborn. And I believe, Mayor, if I'm not mistaken, the fire chief in the city of Dearborn is already talking to the fire chief in Lincoln, in Allen Park, and they're coordinating because we have the facility here. It's going to be at the Performing Arts Center, and I'm looking forward to having as many seniors from the city of Allen Park get vaccinated in the city of Dearborn. That's my ultimate goal, and that's what I'm working on.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
I just want to say thank you to Sam Baydoun for explaining that, because there was quite a few calls from the senior citizens here in Allen Park, and I wanted to know what's happening. Of course, now we know, and I want to thank you very much. I'm sure the Mayor will tell us a little bit more about it, but I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you, Councilman Lally. And I also could be reached. I believe the Mayor and most of you have my number. And once I have the concrete details and the dates and times and the information on the registration process, I will share it with members of the City Council and with the Mayor, and we'll figure out the best way to get the word out to the residents of Allen Park who are 65 and older. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. I have to jump to another meeting, but I wanted to jump in and give you a quick update.
Commissioner, can you wait 1 second? Chief LaFawn wanted to say something. I just want to make sure you're on the same page with him.
Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I did receive an email bright and early this morning from Chief Murray. We work very well together, on a daily basis usually. Since I'm off on bereavement, I forwarded directly to my Deputy Chief, Ed Can. They've been going back and forth all day. Our firefighter paramedics are going to work closely with the firefighter paramedics of the city of Dearborn, and we are going to work to get every 65 and over citizen in the 2 cities vaccinated as soon as possible.
Thank you. Thank you for the fire department in this great city of Allen Park. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
In all of our senior high rises, we have a senior high rise at another facility, and because they're more shut in, don't have availability for transportation and stuff. We want to see if we can get right in there and actually vaccinate them at their facility. So
yep. Great. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't see anybody else to yield the floor to. I guess I'm on the spot now.
Now you postponed it long enough. Let's get it.
I guess I have. Well, I should have asked the commissioner this one, because this one we'll get with him. But as you know, Allen Road is finally closed at the Ecorse Creek Bridge for the reconstruction. We have not received any update on how long it'll be closed, but as soon as we do, we'll post that information on our Facebook page, on the city website. I'm a little concerned because I think our lead contact that we had is no longer with the county. Correct. She moved over to Oakland County, so it does concern me a little bit. I think Ryan, and I never pronounce his last name correctly. What is it?
It's Agazinski.
Agazinski. Ron Agazinski is still a very competent person to deal with. And hopefully he's the one that will be in the lead there. I don't know him as well as we knew Elizabeth Taylor. But unfortunately, she had hopefully a better opportunity, so she's no longer there. And see how it goes. DPS, they've been very busy this past week, as you know, salting, snow plowing of the streets. We tried to get the information out via on the President's Day via the Nixle, the Facebook pages, and that. I think that worked out pretty well. I know that they were out doing some tickets. I don't know how many they did, but again, we don't want to be out ticketing. We really want people just to move the cars off the streets as quickly as they can, and we can get our job done and get them back into their parking spots. And we tried to go a little bit different approach and kind of maybe posted a little bit. Can you make sure that the neighbors know that sometimes they're not getting these notices and maybe they're just not aware of it. Other times they just don't care. We get that, and they'll get what's due to them, I guess, which would be a ticket from the PD. But we really want to have the cars moved so we can get the streets cleared safely. Deputy Chief Can, when we were talking to him last Tuesday, and I wanted to bring it up again tonight, he wanted to remind everyone to clear the snow from around the fire hydrants. He's asking if we can do a 3-foot clear zone on all directions. It would really make it time is of the essence in the need of a fire, in the need of if there's a fire, and every minute counts. And if they don't have to dig the fire hydrants out, it makes it a lot quicker that they can get back to doing the job that they're there to do, which is put the fire out. So please, if you know of anybody that has a fire hydrant near them, or you see one in your front of your house, please clear it out if you can. We had some good news that happened last Thursday, and I got some bad news today, though. The city was awarded the American Public Works Association Downriver Branch 2020 Project of the Year for the Robinson, Park, and Meyer Avenues pavement and water main replacement projects. These were all part of the street improvement millage program that we've had for the last 5 years, I guess it is now. Unfortunately, and this was in the $1 million to $5 million category. Unfortunately, though, we did not win the state award. But we're going to keep applying for those, and eventually we may be able to get one of those state awards as we go forward. In fact, I'm pretty certain that we'll have a really good shot with this next project, which is the DPS facility project. We're going to apply for that, and hopefully we will get some recognition from the state level on our DPS facility. In the meantime, Bob Katie has been diligently over there keeping an eye on everything for us. I think he's done a great job and really helped myself, Amanda, and Tom, and Matt Baker, because we don't have to be there on a regular basis because Bob has it covered for us. He reports back that the office windows have been installed in the office area. They're now hanging the drywall board in that area. The mezzanine concrete floors have been poured, at least over the main mezzanine has been. The man doors have been installed, and the garage doors are due to be installed this week. And at this point, I don't think we're going to be able to get the concrete done before the end of this fiscal year. Looking at the budget, we're trying to make things work. The selling of the property helps a lot if that goes through. But if that's the case, the concrete on the rear of the building and on the west side is going to have to wait until after July 1st. We kind of set this up to be multi-phase, so that it should follow the same pattern there. If we can do it ahead of time and make things happen, we will. But if not, we'll plan to have it after the 1st of July. Parks and Recreation Department got some contact last week from TJ Maxx up at Fairlane Green, and they had a lot of discontinued masks that they wanted to make a donation of. So they donated more than 200 packages, and they're either a 2-count or a 5-count of masks that the Parks and Recreation now has, and they're going to be working to get those donated to those in need. But we do want to thank TJ Maxx for that donation. We really do appreciate anytime we can be able to get anything like that and help out. And I know Sam Baydoun, Commissioner Sam Baydoun, has been instrumental in getting us the Wayne County mask. And I believe we also got some masks for the children, which I believe the school district picked up about 1,000 of them, and they're for sizes a little bit smaller than an adult size. For the two, I guess they were fitting like kindergarten through like 4th grade or 5th grade or something like that is what they were planning on. So we really do appreciate those efforts as well that have been made by Wayne County. And then just want to thank Michael Laughlin. He's going to reach 15 years of service with the city here on March 3rd. I thank him for his service to the city of Allen Park, and we greatly appreciate that over the 15 years and look forward to a long term with him as well.
Thank you. Any council members have any questions or comments regarding the administrator's report?
I think Mark Kibbe is doing a heck of a job as far as telling us what's going on every step of the way. Keep up the good work, Mark. You're a good man.
Councilman, thank you very much. We have a wonderful team. I say that every time, and I'm going to continue to say we have a wonderful team to work with, very fortunate, and they keep me well informed so I can keep you well informed. If you do see anything that you want to have more information on, please do not hesitate. Call me, text me, email, stop in here at City Hall. We're here for you.
I would add one more thing, just keep the pressure on the county with that wonderful issue in Northern Allen Park, because I get questions about that no matter where I go, it seems that, and I keep on reminding them it is the county, but it's important that they know that we are working on it, yourself, Mark, and your staff, as well as everyone here on council.
Yeah, we will certainly do that, Councilman Suspect. Absolutely. I know Tom Murray's in the audience, and I see Sohail Sabek's in the audience, and they know that that's a key priority. It's a key priority for Tom, and Sohail does talk to Wayne County on a regular basis. So I know when he has an opportunity to bring it up, he does. Hopefully they're in and out. The way they were talking is they were going to be about a month. I know that's a long time, but if we can get them done and on their way quicker, that'd be great. I won't be happy. I won't be sad to see them leave the city at all.
I will make a comment. I know that when all this started, I think we had some rough patches. I would say from my perspective, there has been a great deal of improvement in the communications between that department and our departments. I've been contacted several times specifically, even though there's been contact with Tom Murray and other entities to make sure that we are aware of what's going on, why they're doing what they're doing. They have been responsive to issues that have arisen regarding the Thunderbolt parking lot and machinery and equipment going through there. So I think that we have improved our communications, and they are aware of what our needs are. One of the reasons they started back on the project is that they felt that they had mild enough weather at that time to go ahead and do something now and not wait, so that as they got closer to spring, they could finish up sooner. And I think that's what I recall. It's been a couple of weeks, so.
Good.
Yeah, just to kind of lay the groundwork here for them as well, we're going to be dealing with them on another bridge, and that's going to be the over the Sexton Kilfoyle. It's the Old Goddard Moran area right there. I think that's actually on Moran. That needs to be replaced, and that'll happen. I'm going to guess late this fall, maybe. But we'll keep you informed on that one as well. So it never ends.
Well, but I think as long as we can continue with, I'm watching the cats. As long as we can continue with the communications that we've started to establish, I hope that we have more positive dealings going forward. So
that's all we can hope for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else has any questions as we're being entertained?
That cat, I don't know about them cats there, Pam. Pretty cool. You got two of them or just the mirror?
No, it's the mirror. I thought there were two.
No, I just have one. That's Luna.
Okay.
All right, if there's no further questions or discussion, can I have a motion to accept and file the administrator's report? Matthew?
Motion, Valerius.
And seconded by Lally. So I have Valerius and Lally. Michael?
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Valerius, supported by Pro Tem Lally, to approve the organizational business. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke?
Yes.
Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
And Pro Tem Lally?
Yes.
The yeses have it. The motion is successful.
Thank you. Now we come to the public comment section of today's meeting. Anyone who's in attendance, we would like to start with residents first, can speak for 4 minutes. We just ask that you try and keep your comments relevant and civil. Other than that, I think Mark will tell you if you raise your hand or in some other way indicate that you wish to speak. We'll get you up and
Getting the timer all set, but I don't see anybody yet. So I don't see anybody raising their hand at all.
we'll have last call for public comments. No one? Right, then we will close the public comment section and move on to the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda consists of claims and accounts and the payroll report. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Lally.
Second.
Second by Mr. Schlack. Michael.
All right, I have a motion by Pro Tem Lally, supported by Councilman Schlack, to approve the consent agenda tonight. Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
Councilman Syke?
Yes.
Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
Yes.
And Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
The yeses have it. The resolution is successful.
Thank you. Moving on to resolutions. The first being the resolution to refer the Showmobile Shared Use Agreement to the Legal Affairs Committee for review. May I have a motion?
Motion, Valerius.
Motion by Valerius.
I guess I'll second it.
Second by Lally. Questions or comments?
I have a comment.
Yes.
As a member of the Legal Affairs Committee, along with Councilwoman Pam Syke and Councilman Daniel Lloyd, I'm sure we will do the best due diligence possible when being referred, if this is accepted.
Thank you. Anyone else? Michael?
All right, Mayor. I have a motion by Councilman Valerius, supported by Pro Tem Lally, for the Showmobile motion. Shall this pass? Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke?
Yes, I look forward to it.
Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
Of course. Yes.
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
And Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
The yeses have it. The motion is successful.
Thank you. Resolution 2 is a resolution to adopt the 2021 Poverty Exemption Guidelines with the updates from PA 253 of 2020. May I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Schlack. Why is everyone shy tonight?
Okay. I second it.
Tony's going to become our official seconder.
Oh, well, I don't know. Whatever.
We have a motion by Councilman Schlack, support by Councilman Lally. Any questions?
I don't. I was hoping that I forgot to talk to Chris before she left this evening. She actually left early today, but I believe this is the normal procedures. These have to be on file for the board of review. That'll be coming up here in March. And I do know that there were some changes in the at PA 253 of 2020, and I believe it was just a determination of how and what would be allowed required for the determination of 100% of tax exemption. And I think that's why Chris Kuhn, I think, wrote everything up. It looks pretty self-explanatory, but if there's any questions, I'll try to answer the best I can.
There was quite a bit of detail attached on that. And I'm glad that's left up to others, not me. Are there any questions or comments? If not, Michael?
Mike.
You're on mute.
Thank you. Sorry. I got a motion by Councilman Schlack, supported by Pro Tem Lally, for the poverty exemption guidelines for 2021. Shall this resolution pass? Councilwoman Syke.
Yes.
Councilman Valerius.
Yes.
Councilman Blevins.
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally.
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd.
Yes.
Mayor McLeod.
Yes.
And Councilman Schlack.
Yes.
The yeses have it. The motion is successful.
Thank you. Resolution 3 is to approve the Wayne County Annual Maintenance Pavement Restoration and Special Events Permit number A21161 and authorize DPS Director Tom Murray to sign. May I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by
Go ahead, no, Dan, I'll
motion
second
by
Dan's motion.
Dan, and we'll have Matthew be the second.
Yay.
Broke your home run string there. Questions, comments, explanation?
Explanation is this is a yearly permit. They usually are independently 3 different ones. This year, the county decided to put them all into one permit. They said to make it easier. It's for if we have water main breaks, road work, anything on the Wayne County easements, for us to do work on their easements. If we wanted to put banners up on one of their easements, or we have parades or anything of that nature. It's a standard yearly permit that most communities have to do that are within the county.
It includes banners?
Yes, ma'am, it does. But we don't have a county road with banners right now. We have a
Yeah.
state road with banners.
Southfield? is
That's a state road. That's not a county road.
Okay.
We have that permit. They don't require a resolution anymore for state,
Oh, okay.
but we have one for it.
Let's put banners up on E-Course then. How
It's
about
ours. That's the city of Ellen Park's jurisdiction, E-Course.
May have to put up a map one of these days and go over, this is ours, this is theirs. I've got them and I look and then I forget.
So E-Course belongs to Wayne County?
Oh, that belongs to the city of Ellen Park with an agreement
Whoa.
with Wayne County.
Anybody else have any
I got excited
questions?
when I heard banners.
You just want banners.
I want banners.
Okay, we'll work on that. We'll refer that to one of the committees.
Yeah, the legal committee.
No, that's
Beautification.
we don't have that. All right. Any other comments or questions? We're too much levity here. We're having too much fun. Anybody else have any questions of Tom? As he says, it's a standard annual, but it's nice to know what we can do with those. And it would be nice if that's not written down somewhere. So we do have some ideas to, hey, yes, as you pointed out, the banners, we can do that. If there's no further questions or comments, Michael.
All right, Mayor, I have a motion by Councilman Lloyd, supported by Councilman Valerius to approve the Wayne County annual permits and to authorize Tom Murray to sign them. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
And Councilwoman Syke.
Yes.
The yeses have it. The resolution is successful.
Thank you. Moving on to Resolution 4 to approve Al's Asphalt to make the necessary improvements to the access road leading to the city's property at 16860 Southfield Road, as the necessary improvements to the access road leading, am I rereading? Yes, I am. At an approximate cost of $49,785.
$50,000, yeah.
May I have a motion? Motion by Lloyd,
Second by Lally.
second by Blevins.
Oh, okay, good.
He lit
Thanks,
up
Lloyd.
first. So we have Dan Lloyd and Charles Blevins. Questions or comments? Mr. Lloyd.
Yeah, just Tom, if you could just clarify again what we talked about in the work session, that the reason that this project didn't go out to bid is because of the existing relationship we have with Ailes, the other jobs that he's doing, and the particular size of this.
Yes, so in all technicality, we called 4 different contractors for independent bidding, technically is what this would be called. Only 2 came, one was Nagel and one was Els. The other 2 decided this was too small of a project for them. And after we got both quotes, we decided Els, and Els is probably because we got a relationship currently where they're doing Beatrice and 6 different alleys for the city currently under contract. So we got better pricing, most likely due to that.
Very good.
Thank you.
As we discussed earlier in the study session, this will go from about the 700 feet back is about the front door, equivalent of the front door of the hotel, north 700 feet to where the end of the building is at, and it juts back in to on the Ford property just before you get to the creek is a rate of reference on that.
Good to me.
Any other questions, comments? If not, Mike, you're up again.
All right, Mayor, I have a motion by Councilman Lloyd, supported by Councilman Blevins to approve Al's Asphalt. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
Councilman Syke?
Yes.
And Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
Okay, and I would like to point out that I will indicate in the minutes that we did bypass the city bid process because there's no economic advantage because they were a current vendor. So I will indicate that in the minutes.
Thank you, Mike.
I think Councilman Lloyd acknowledged that that's what you're looking for, correct? Okay. I just sent you all the Act 51 map as well, so you will now know which roads are county, state, local. It's an older map, but I have to work with Sohau to get an updated map scanned in, though.
Thank you. Moving on to Resolution 5. Resolution to accept the purchase offer from AJ Trucking in the amount of $715,000 for the city property currently known as the DPS Garage at 16860 Southfield Road. May I have a motion?
Madam Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lally. Second by Mr. Valerius. Questions or comments?
I would like to ask Representative 80 AJ Trucking to please briefly just describe a little bit about your business as a logistics professional and a new business coming to our community. If possible, could you speak on that? Just a couple minutes of that.
Just move them in, Councilman.
Nothing specific.
Hello.
Hello.
This is AJ, owner of AJ Trucking, and I would like you to know a little bit about our business. I own a dump truck and trailer, and I work through Dan's Excavating, and we work through the state of Michigan. We do the roads, highways, airport runways, the major 75. I'm sure you guys seen it on 75 project everywhere in there. And all we do, we go haul their dirt, their stone, concrete, back and forth, whatever they need us to do. But we go into the yard empty, and we leave empty. So we're always empty when we come back to the yard. We don't haul any hazmat, any dirt, anything. We don't bring nothing back to the yard at all. So pretty much our business is clean. So, and then we'll promise we'll be a good neighbor for everybody around us. And then whatever the city wants us to do, we'll go by whatever they want us to do 100%.
Outstanding. I appreciate that coming from the logistics world. Thank you.
Councilman, thank you for that question. I think that's very, very appropriate timing. I saw AJ Trucking in the audience. I just didn't know how to bring him in without you, so I appreciate that. I brought Matt Baker in as well. The question may come about is, what kind of use is that? We determined working with Matt, he felt that there was a comparable use to the existing use that the city has. They're going to be basically a contractor's garage and storage, which is basically what we are in the meantime as well. They'll use it for some maintenance on their vehicles and so forth, but mostly the trucks will be parked there overnight. I don't see them being a hindrance to anybody around any more than we are. In fact, if we didn't have the Salt Dome right now, I think the hotel guests would probably be hearing beeping sounds every hour during a snowstorm or a salt meeting, because the backup beeper on the trucks and all that stuff. So I think this will be a comparable and compatible use to what we've already have in that facility.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got a question. Go ahead, Kerry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, from my experience, sir, that sounds like you're probably parking your tractors there, and then you don't have any trailers there on site then.
No, we do. We have quad trailers, like the dump trailers. Yeah, but usually we leave like morning, and then we come back late afternoon. And overnight, there's nothing going on. We just park there. I just wanted to have a nice and safe place in a good area, and we'll be good neighbors. There's no loud noises at night. And I told my drivers all the time they can't use their horns in the neighborhood or anything like that.
Outstanding. Thank you. And if the resolution passes, I'm sure we welcome you to the community. And
I would love to, and I promise I will create as many jobs in the area. And also, if this city needs my services for anything, whatever I can help the city on my own expense, I'll be more than glad to help.
I think Tom heard that really well.
I think someone else had their hand up. What comment? Charles?
I was going to have Tony first, because Tony.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Thank
Tony,
you, Charles. The only question I have for Mr. AJ Trucking is, are you going to do any more improvement in that building? Because it's pretty old. So I thought maybe, are you going to do any improvement in it?
Yes, sir. I have a plan of right now, I'm putting in a lot of money, and then, last year we got hit a little bit. We started late in the season, our work. We finished early, and Corona didn't help. So we had a really bad season. I didn't create as much money as I should. Yeah. My plan for the future also to update the building and repaint the whole building on the outside. Also, I have a plan for the dome where the salt is, to put up a new roof, because I never realized how big that thing is till I went under it, and it's amazing. It's huge. So that could be used for a lot of things. So I have a plan for a new roof over it to make it look nice, and possible like a roll-up door or something, because you could use it for a lot of storage things in there. and stuff. And then, yeah, I do have a plan also in the front to grade the whole area, you know, in the front of the building, kind of fence it around, and then plant some trees. You know, I'll present everything once I move in. Whatever I have, you know, in mind, I will present to the city, and I will go from there. But whatever the city requires me to do, I will do by that.
Well,
And I promise you one thing: I will be a good neighbor, and we'll do the best we can.
What's your first name and your, what is it? AJ Trucking is not your name. What's your name?
Oh, my name's AJ, and it stands for Ali, and the last name is Jalloul, Jalloul. I come from Lebanon. I came to the country 34 years ago, and Jalloul back home is a kind of a pop, just like Pepsi Cola. Jalloul is a brand name of a pop. It's a soda.
Thank you.
I don't own it. I wish, but it's the family.
I came from a different country too, so I just I can see your point. Thank you for coming and be a business in Allen Park. We're looking forward to you.
I would love to. I also own a business in Lincoln Park, and I own an oil change on Dix right there by 75, which is my son run it. You know, him, and I got, you know, some people from the neighborhood also that works for me there.
Oh, looking forward to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I will come whenever we can after the corona, introduce myself to the old city and the mayor, and I'll be honored to do so.
That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. Charles.
So, trying to picture the area. So this is for the garage, the salt dome, as well. Is this also including all the way in the back where we keep the, like, a car, like the car dump? I guess you would call it
the impound. Yeah, the impound lot.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's the whole section right there, correct?
Yeah, this is everything that's north of the creek. So the first parcel that we sold to Mr. Gasso and his group for the hotel and the shopping center was a 7-acre parcel that went from Southfield to the creek and kind of went in a point at the closest to the old temporary city hall. The next parcel is the rest of that above north of the creek to the railroad track, and which would be and also the I-94 area. So to that point north. Okay. And it's kind of an oblong. I don't know what the shape is.
Triangular.
Okay.
We'll go with
I'm not too sure. So.
Okay. Thank you.
This does include. This does not include the cell tower. You remember the city sold the cell tower off a couple years ago, but it does include the billboard.
Thank you.
Well, one more question for Mark. Just to make this clear, the previous resolution is a condition of this sale, correct?
Correct. Yeah. You know, ideally, if this did not go, if this sale doesn't go through, that improvement is definitely still necessary. As you can see, the vast difference in offers. But it is continue. It definitely is for this purpose.
Good point. Is there any other questions, comments? Michael?
Hey, Gail?
Yes.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So just to be clear, what we have today is it's what's called a letter of intent. So you would be approving, this sale, but it'd be subject to negotiating an acceptable purchase agreement.
Okay.
And then.
If you could just kind of clarify, because when you say negotiating, that stirs up other questions in my mind.
Sure, because there will be some details to work out with them. They're asking for a due diligence period.
Right.
There's various things that go into a purchase agreement.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to nail down.
Will this need to go to planning or zoning by any chance?
Matt Baker, I don't believe so.
Charles has spoke.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Matt,
Yes,
yes.
Matt.
Yeah. So Mark's description earlier, when we determined that it was a similar use of what the city was using it for currently, that it would not have to go to planning or zoning.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, Michael?
All right, Mayor, I have a motion by Pro Tem Lally, supported by Councilman Valerius, to accept the purchase offer, however, subject to an accepting an agreeable purchase agreement. Shall this resolution pass? Pro Tem Lally?
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke?
Yes.
Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
And Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
The yes, we have it. The resolution is accepted.
Thank you. Now we are moving on to other business, and this evening we have a proposed ordinance. I'm asking for a motion to authorize the first and second reading of proposed ordinance number 01-2021. May I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Syke. Are there any discussions or questions? Comments? I know this went before legal affairs, so I think if any member wants to comment before we have.
Sure. So this is what Joe touched on two meetings ago now, where we first brought it up. But this is just repeal of the ordinance about political signs in front of the House. And the reason that we are repealing it is because due to First Amendment protections of political speech, the ordinance is unenforceable. And it's something that Mr. Baker had gotten calls on, that Mr. Mizzi again calls on, that the police chief again calls on, and there's nothing that we really can do. So this is more of kind of just good housekeeping, making sure that we don't have anything on the books that we are not actually able to enforce as a city. So that's the purpose and the reason behind it.
Thank you.
And also, thank you. Well said. And the mayor and I had a discussion the other day. One portion of this ordinance, which is being repealed, requires individuals who have signage to disclose who is sponsoring the sign. And the concern was that will people think that they no longer have to do that. So that requirement is under state law. It's under the state election law, which is preempting our local regulation of that. So any signage, anything advocating a charter amendment, elections, under state law, they still need to disclose who they are. So, Mayor, does that cover that point well enough?
Right.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I had raised the concern that if we repeal this, that there might be the perception that you no longer had to do that. But as Joe pointed out, it is state law and it is enforceable as state law. So you do have to indicate who is sponsoring. So I will ask for a vote, and then the city attorney will do the first and second reading by title only. So Michael, if you'll take the vote.
All right, thank you, Mayor. I have a motion by Councilman Lloyd and supported by Councilwoman Syke to hold the first and second hearing of the proposed ordinance number 1-2021 to repeal the political signs. Shall we have the first and second reading? Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke?
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
and Pro Tem Lally.
Yes.
The yeses have it.
Thank you. Joel?
Okay. The first reading by title only of the first ordinance of the year, 01-2021. An ordinance of the City of Ellen Park Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 52, zoning, Article 6, supplemental regulations by repealing existing sections 52-899 M1 through M6, political campaign signs. Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Ellen Park Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 52 zoning, Article 6, supplemental regulations, by repealing existing sections 52-899 M1 through M6, political campaign signs. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we will move on to council comments. And tonight, Mr. Schlack gets the opportunity to lead us off.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start again with how we began, to give my condolences to Chief LaFond and his family. I know that especially that's hard to lose a parent. I myself lost my father. And again, congratulations to Firefighter Malcolm. And I understand from the text message that we got that Deputy Han went on a ride for a fire. Perhaps our newest firefighter was on that ride himself. So be safe, always be safe. I also want to thank again Commissioner Sam Baidoon for an update on Wayne County senior COVID vaccine update. And I look forward to continuing working with Commissioner Baidoon as we have. I also want to thank all the city employees that have helped our city keep us safe and snow-free and live as happy as possible. And I want to also say that even though we repealed the ordinance today that protects the right of free speech, be courteous to your neighbors. At the end of the day, we have to live with one another and just be courteous. I won't go any further than that. And it's a reminder that we are still in this pandemic, to wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, and to continue to see the light at the end of the tunnel. These things need to continue to happen. And before you know it, we'll be back to some level of normalcy. And finally, as a reminder to all citizens, please feel free to reach out to the city or myself as your councilman and any of the fine council men and women on board, as well as the mayor will be happy to answer any questions. And with that, I will see you in 2 weeks. God bless. Thank you.
Going to see us sooner than that. Charles.
Yes, next week we have our work session meeting, so I cannot wait.
I'm going to mention that, yeah.
I can't wait to get those updates of our lovely city buildings. So my bow tie today has sushi on it because I love sushi. So with February being Valentine's Day season, so that's with that. 4 years ago, speaking of that land that we're talking about, 4 years ago was when City Hall was the old one got demolished. So the more you know. The Historical Commission, the plastic cap fundraising still going on. The last update I got was they got about more than 50 pounds of plastic caps, still going for 400 plus. So please make sure you donate your plastic caps at the historical house. They have by the garage, they do have a bin for those. If they're maybe to look into, I'm not sure if it would be the state, since we just got that lovely man of roads from our administrator. If it's just, I'm assuming it's state. The Allen Park sign that's across Pinecrest and the new hotels, or the new the new Dunkin' thing, there was an accident, and now that sign that used to say Allen Park with the flower beds is now just sitting there. If someone can look into that, I don't know how we're gonna, who can fix it and all that stuff. for future businesses, if we could try to, when they open, try to get, again, those ribbon cuttings back again, just so that the council and those businesses can know that we're all together and want to work together and stuff like that. Great job to the DPS department last Tuesday with that blizzard, salting the roads, and just kudos to them that even rain and shine, they are still out there. They are essential workers. So always think of them when you're inside. They are out there helping out the city. So great job to that department. I know I discussed back in September, I had some few residents. I'm not sure if this is back from Mark, your report about the streets and the that we didn't get the money and stuff. Again, on Park Avenue between Virginia and Champaign, I got a couple residents talking about there's potholes over there. I'm not sure if that's going to be on next fiscal year map for the future. Just again, some residents came up to me about that. Keep supporting your local businesses. We are a strong Allen Park, and we need to just keep on supporting all the small, especially the small businesses during this pandemic, and make sure you're wearing your face mask. And lastly, just keep up the good work, and let's keep getting the job done. And I yield. Thank you.
If I may, through the chair, Councilman, you're absolutely right. Park Avenue between Regina and Angelique is actually going to be repaved this coming season. That'll be actually coming to your table 2 weeks from now for a bid award, and that'll also include hand 4 from Allen Road to Roger, and a water main on hand 4. I believe there's also going to be a water main over on Shenandoah. There's a water main that needs to go in at the Moran. I mentioned the Moran Bridge earlier with Wayne County. Again, once they're making their bridge bigger, we have to move a water main out of their way, and we have more cost to incur. So there's some work over there as well. But that'll be coming to council 2 weeks from tonight. And then the other question, you mentioned the sign on Southfield Road. Yeah, we noticed that a couple weeks ago as well. I've been working with Tom Murray, Chief Egan, Amy Millara, and Gail McFarland over in the Records Bureau to try to pull information and so we can get this sent to the insurance company. Not only that the street sign or the welcoming sign is covered under the insurance, but also the streetlight poles are covered. Chief Egan is put out a directive to make sure that the officers get as much information as they can on those accidents. The poles are cost between $7,000 and $10,000 a piece to replace. So the more we can go after insurance of the drivers, that'll be better for us. If not, they are covered under the city policy, but with a deductible. And we have 2 drivers in the cases of the single poles on Southfield at Luana, and I think the other one was at Norwood. There's one here in the middle of the median here in Southfield at Fox. That was a hit and run. So we have no driver information on that, and I don't have any driver information on the sign itself. I don't know what happened there. I was going to leave this afternoon, and I realized it was right around rush hour time to go take some pictures. I'm going to do that sometime tomorrow when the traffic's a little bit calmer, and we are submitting those to the insurance company for some sort of assistance on those.
Thank you. I just noticed when I drive home from work, I'm like, oh, the sign's gone. But yeah, thank you.
I'll also, as I'm looking there, I know I'll talk to Jennifer. I think DDA had one that went down on Ecorse Road in front of I'm going to say the Dairy Mart. I don't know what it's called now. They're at Shenandoah. And so we'll get with her to see if that one needs to be sent in as well. But if you do see those, let us know. And again, Chief Egan has put a directive out to help make sure the officers getting that information back. The better we can get it, like say, $7,000 to $10,000 per poll.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tony, you're up next.
Well, am I? Well, thank you. Thank you for all the information, Mark. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Charlie, for asking all that stuff. I really appreciate that. I also want to say congratulations to the firefighter, Thomas Malcolm. Welcome aboard to the Allen Park Fire Department. And I want to thank the fire department and the police department for an excellent job they're doing out there. And the DPS department. They're doing a heck of a job this year, this winter. They did very good. I'm really proud of Allen Park. And I get a lot of good things about you guys. So I just want to repeat it to you. And also, I want to definitely have my deepest sympathy to Chief LaFawn, his mother. I used to know her from Luch Center. She had the nicest smile you ever see on a lady. Always smiling. Every time you say hello, she always smiles. I guess they're having some kind of fundraiser for a garden that she wants to put out there. And I guess I volunteered to be the construction leader on it to make sure that we do a good, nice the garden for her. So I think it's on Facebook, I'm pretty sure. And other than that, I just want to see, hopefully that once we get this new business coming in, like AJ Trucking and Duncan, my God, I don't know. That's good. It's looking good. Allen Park is looking very good. And I want to thank Sam Baidoon for coming up here today because I called him yesterday about it. And I'm sure the mayor will say more about it tonight. I don't. It's good. Thanks for him to come up. And I know State Liberati wasn't here, but I want to thank him anyway. At least he wanted to be here, but he couldn't make it for some reason or another. Other than that, I yield my time to the next person. Thank you.
Dan.
Right, so something that you will probably hear a lot from me over the next month and a half. We do have an election coming up May 4th, I believe. Mr. Mizzi, correct me if I'm wrong. And I just kind of want to take a second to emphasize. I know that we had record participation nationwide, and if I'm unless I'm mistaken, I think in Allen Park as well. Regarding that election, and that's great. But I just really want to emphasize that most of the issues that touch individuals' lives the most are the ones that happen on a local level. It is your elected officials. It is the bonds that you're being asked to consider. And this May, the people of Allen Park and in the Allen Park Public District part of it will be asked to consider a bond. And I think that it's incredibly important that if you don't, I totally recognize that right here I'm preaching to the choir. Everybody here is going to go and vote May 4th because you have made the time to make city politics a big part of your life. So I guess what I'm encouraging you to do is go tell 10 people to go vote May 4th. All right, and tell them to get themselves knowledgeable about the issues that are at hand. Because these are the really important issues that are going to long-term impact our community. Again, I would very much just encourage everybody to speak with their neighbors, speak with their friends. If people don't know, have them ask. You can ask me. I work in the district. I know it pretty well. I know the issues that are going on with it. But it is just incredibly important that you take a vested interest in these what we're off-term elections, the ones that aren't the presidential, that aren't the congressional. With that, I yield. Thank you very much and have a great week.
Thank you, Dan. Pam.
All right. First of all, I would like to say my deepest condolences to Chief LaFawn at the loss of his mom. And welcome to Tom Malcolm, our latest firefighter. And I wanted to say something that I heard some good news about on the radio the other day. My husband and I were in the car going to chemo, and we heard about how we are one of the few cities that have the team that goes out after the overdose and talks to the family. And so that was really good to hear that positive thing that we're doing was recognized by the radio station. So with that, I would like to wish everyone a good couple weeks as we go to our next meeting, and be careful out in the snow and the bad weather. And I yield my time.
Thank you. Matthew.
I'd like to thank everyone for who joined the meeting. Everyone that took the time to kind of go over some things that were on the agenda and give us more insight into those matters. My deepest condolences, as with everyone else's, to Chief LaFawn on the passing of his mom. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, and will continue to be with you. Congratulations to Mike Laughlin for the Water Department for his 15 years of service to the City of Allen Park. And also, another congratulations to Tom Malcolm for his decision to make Allen Park his new place of employment with the Allen Park Fire Department. Did get a nice email today that really warmed my heart and kind of, I guess, served as further evidence that things are changing, for the better. Even, we have to look at small things and big things, with regards to how things are changing with, the pandemic and the vaccinations and everything else. Maple Heights sent an email out today to families of residents, and they announced that they are reopening their dining room. This will be the first time residents are actually able to come back down to the dining room and eat instead of having food brought up to their rooms in almost a year. They also announced that family will be able to visit residents again, actual visitation at certain hours of the day, beginning on March 1st, which for me was extremely emotional, considering I'm 3 blocks away from my dad and haven't been able to go see him in his apartment, since March, basically. I mean, I'm not saying I haven't seen him, but just when I go on walks with my dog, it used to be commonplace for us to just stop in there and go up and hang out and see him for a bit. And so it'll be nice to be able to do that. It's definitely scaled back, but at least the opportunity is there. And also they are going to open up transportation to residents again too, which is something that they have not had since, the pandemic and the shutdown. So they're going to be offering transportation services again, beginning this Thursday, taking residents to shopping trips and, appointments and other like little outings that they used to go to, albeit once again on a scaled back schedule, but something is definitely better than nothing, especially for these seniors that have been, in this apartment complex, on some sort of lockdown without a lot of the freedoms that we've been able to have based upon our ability to get out and do things. So the letter was extremely moving to me and heartwarming. From the get-go, I know they have been doing everything they have been able to keep the residents safe, in very, very difficult times. And I know it's been extremely hard on families, with the inability to visit, their old relatives or their senior relatives, because, we want them to be safe. And so I appreciate everything that they have done to keep my dad and the residents there safe. And I'm extremely inspired and I guess happy with regards to the announcements today about the ability to once again, them to eat together is huge. My dad is not a fan of having food brought up and left outside his room for him to go get. It's definitely not the type of food service that they grew accustomed to. Their dining room is like a restaurant where you have a menu and you pick from the menu with regards to what you want to eat. So it's going to be a nice change of pace for all the residents there in that respect. And of course, the visitation part of it is warming to the heart. So I appreciate everyone's time. And once again, take care of your neighbors. I know I had just an awesome, extremely fun time during the snowstorm. I was like a child waking up on Christmas morning and putting on my coveralls and going out and starting my big 2-cycle snowblower. I spent 3 hours out there. I did the entire walkway from my house all the way down past Councilman Schlack's house, all the way down to meeting the last guy 2 houses down. And I was almost upset because he did the last 2 houses and I wanted to do those last 2 houses. I gave him the look, he gave me a look, and then I kind of just turned around and went to do my next sweep. Then the city trucks came by, and it was nice to have the street cleared, but then of course the driveway aprons, have the heavy snow on it. So it just gave me, I was once again, I was back in the house, and I heard the truck, and I'm like, cool. I put the coveralls back on, went back out there. I started that beast of a snowblower up. I went down and did probably 3 or 4 aprons of neighbors down there and cleared the snow. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get more. I know a lot of the workers don't want to hear that. I was kind of, the 6 or 8 inches that we got, I was hoping for a little bit more. Winter's not over yet. Groundhog made a good prediction, so we still got some weeks of winter left. So, a guy who loves it can only, hope and dream. But I appreciate it. Thank you for the city workers for all their hard work during these times. Nice. I say that. I'm being requested to mute myself, but I know it's difficult times with a lot of people. So, the more we could get out and help our neighbors, I enjoy it, not just because I love the snow, but, just, hey, if I have the ability to do the work and minimize what some of my neighbors could do, whether they're old, young, whatever, it doesn't bother me. Someone said, well, Matt, 15 years from now, you're not going to feel this way about winter. I felt this way about winter since I was 2 or 3. So I don't think it's going to change much. I love it. I'll continue to love it, and I'll continue to snow blow and shovel and help people out. So I encourage others to do the same if you're able. I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you so much. I yield my time. Have a great night, and we'll see everyone next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
I think we're going to have an intervention session for Matthew. The man needs help. Michael, I know I always like to give you an opportunity to say something, if you'd like.
Just like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. God bless you and good night.
Okay. I'm going to do a little last council session. A poem was read by Langston Hughes, and I commented, and I wanted to let you fellows know that I made a mistake because my poetry book is by County Cullen. And, but based on your reading, I am now the proud owner of the complete collection of poems and other writings by Langston Hughes. I think I went up to Barnes & Noble and I got the last soft cover that they have, and it's about this thick, and it should take me a while, but there's some wonderful stuff in there, so I thank you for that. We are, as Charles pointed out, going to have the work session that we said we wanted to have the first Tuesday of the month. We are going to have that on Tuesday, March 2nd at 6 o'clock. That will be held via Zoom, and we're going to get facility updates. And that will probably take up most of the time. Don't want these to be lengthy. I know everyone's got a lot on their plate between work and everything else they're having to deal with, but I've got quite a sheet that I shared with you, and I'm going to be updating that with some recent input. And so we've got a lot of things that we are going to be able to cover on these first Tuesdays, and I don't think we will be wanting for subjects. And we're going to hear also from the various committees, and I think that will be beneficial. As was mentioned earlier by Sam, I did sit in on a almost 2.5-hour Zoom call this morning. I've got 7 pages of notes that I took. The key will be whether I can decipher them. Basically, what was covered for all the communities involved is what has been posted on our city Facebook pages and what was added to our website, I have a letter to residents which mostly reflects what was on the city Facebook page. In that regard, is with allocations, who's getting what, because one of the things that came up in today's Zoom call was the fact, and this was pointed out by commissioners and mayors and township supervisors, that we need to make sure, or Wayne County needs to make sure, that what the press is reporting is very accurate, because when they come out and say, oh, Melvindale is going to have vaccinations, there's a perception out there that all of a sudden Melvindale is getting a bunch of vaccines, and they're not. Allocations go federal to state to county health departments, and that's where it stops. Cities like us, even Dearborn, are not getting allocations to do with as they like. It comes down from the county. So the county has set up 4 regions with various populations, and they've got a process that they've started. One of the other things that came out was the need to have clear communications. Several of the cities said it's imperative that Wayne County develop a call center, because, for example, yesterday Canton had so many people calling in that they contracted quickly with a call center business, which subsequently called them and said, we cannot handle the calls coming in any longer, and they left. So there's all kinds of implications. I know that our fire department, EdCan, has been in contact with Dearborn. I know that they are working out the logistics on what's going to be done. I think that the overall statement tonight about 65 and above may have been somewhat inaccurate, in that how many vaccines that can be given out, again, depends on the allocation that is given to the county, and they are only aware of that about a week before they receive it. I've got, again, notes where there's some planning that we can do. One of the things that came up is every community that is serviced by Wayne County, and EdCan was the one who sent this report in, was asked to report the total population of 65 and over. And then we identified those who are 65 and over who reside in Palouse and who reside in Maple Heights. And I think that is going to be their first focus, is that the individuals in those residences are going to be looked at first, because they are the ones who are less able to get out, have any transportation. Many of them don't have relatives that can take them. So that's some of the things that are going to be ironed out. We know that we have advised that all of our paramedics are available to give shots, and that is going to be coordinated between the Dearborn and the Elm Park Fire Departments. Try to remember from, there was another item that came up during the discussion, and I'm waiting to get a link to the state. Apparently you can fill out some forms and try and become a certified location. I'm going to see if that would be beneficial to us, in that I believe that once you are a certified location, you can then receive a direct allocation from the state. That is going to be explored. But there was as you can imagine, over 2.5 hours with various questions and comments and input from the Wayne County Health Department, and Warren Evans, assistant, and Bill Dowling, who sends us our reports, who actually conducted the major portion of the meeting. There's just a ton of information out there. As quantities and availability increase, the more we will reach our population. But everybody has to understand that we don't control what we're getting. We're not getting it directly. It's federal to state to health departments. And the only cities who get an allocation are cities like Detroit, which have their own health departments. So basically it's health departments that get it, whether it's county or a state health department. But, you know, as has been pointed out, Sam's been in touch with me. He called a couple of weeks ago. You start getting calls, you know, a lot of people want to be involved. They want to be there to support you. And he called a couple of weeks ago and said, I'm working on something. I want to bring it into the Dearborn Performing Arts. I want to make sure that we include Allen Park. And for this, we should all, I don't know if everybody is aware of the history, but I think that we should all be very, very pleased and thankful that we have a commissioner like Sam Beydoun, who is our representative in Wayne County, because he has done so much for us in the short period of time that he's been in office, and has been such a wonderful communicator with us, that we are not viewed as I never get the feeling that we're viewed as a secondary entity to him. And I would also say that we have a very good connection with our Debbie Dingle, who is our 12th district representative. And her office and her staff are always available for questions, and she has been working tirelessly on our behalf. And I think that one of the reasons that so many things are starting to come around is because of her being so vocal at the state and at the county levels. So anybody who wants to can go on the website. It's at the top of the list. It's COVID vaccine update. I think that's what Jim entered the letter on, so you can see what I stated in my letter, but again, it's also been on Facebook pages. To get back to Dan's comments, is absolutely right. You know, what really happens of importance happens at the local level. This is where you and I and everybody on this council and everybody who works for the city really make a difference. We have the greatest impact on the people with whom we live in this community. And supporting our schools, as everyone knows, whether or not you've got kids in school, it's good for the city, it's good for the community, it's good for so many things. And as we learned from when we had our charter proposal, it is vitally important to make sure that people have a true understanding of what is being presented to them and what is being asked, and that we all have answers to questions, and that we all become educated so that we can be the most supportive individuals possible for these issues. And I've probably forgotten a ton of things that will come to me later, but I will see you all a week from tonight. And thank you all very much. Love hearing the perspectives, hearing the questions that may not have crossed my mind, but that's why we're all here, correct? And if I can have a motion to adjourn.
Motion Blevins.
Motion by Blevins. Seconded by Lally.
All right, Mayor, I have a motion by Councilman Blevins, supported by Pro Tem Lally, to adjourn the city council.
Madam Mayor, hold on that mic, please. I'd be remiss if I don't say something tonight about tomorrow night for the Knights of Columbus. We are going to be doing an Italian night, chicken cacciatore night. You guys all welcome to come over there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do you have carry out, Tony?
Carry out is available.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry, Madam Mayor. I'm back. Okay.
Michael.
Thank you, Pro Tem Lally. So there's a motion and support to adjourn the meeting. Shall this meeting adjourn, Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke?
Yes.
Councilman Valeris?
Yes.
Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
Definitely. Thank you.
And Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
The motion is successful. We are adjourned at 7:35.
You guys have a blessed night.
Thank you.
Have a good night.